Hey, y'all. Hey. Hey, Wise. Hello. Good evening. Good evening. Y'all probably saying, Coach C, you here on a Thursday? I am here on a Thursday. And I'm starting to think. I'm starting to really consider going into the months moving forwards that Thursday just might be my day, right? Thursday may just be my day. Y'all know how selfish I am when it comes down to my self-care, okay? Like Coach T loves her self-care, all right? And so because I love my self-care, and I normally start my self-care day on, Thursday evening, going into Friday morning. I don't know if I really want to share it anymore. I think I might be going on Thursdays now. And I'm going to call it Throw It Back Thursday. I'm going to call it Throw It Back Thursday. Like I have Take Care of Yourself on Tuesday. I'm going to call it Throw It Back Thursday. I'm thinking I'm going to switch my live days to Thursday because the closer and closer it gets to the weekend, the closer I be trying to get prepared for my self-care time. Then a lot of times I have sessions on Saturdays, which I'm trying to navigate through that, but I understand people's schedules and stuff, so I try to definitely work with it. And since I have a cutoff time, it's fine. So because I have a busy schedule this weekend, I said, let me just come on today. Let me come on and talk to the ladies today. Share a few things with you, give you a few announcements, leave you with some words. We're going to try this Thursday out. All right. We're going to try this Thursday out. When I say I'm going to call it Throw It Back Thursday, I ain't talking about throwing your butt back. I ain't talking about you twerking. No, we're not doing that. We're not here for that. All right. I'm talking, about, I'm going to share some data information with you, some data, something related to, your mental and emotional health. And I have something today I want to share with you in regards to that, especially for the ones who I have been speaking about getting connected to the right provider. Hello, getting connected to the right provider. So we're going to go ahead and say a quick prayer, and then we're going to move on forwards. Y'all see, because I got my tired look on. I ain't even showered yet. Y'all know I be trying to shower before I come on here. Hey, Miss Lady. Y'all know I be trying to do that. But tonight, we had a whole lot of interruptions. We had, like, all kind of stuff was happening today. Listen, okay? When you are that girl, this is not boasting or anything, but when you are that girl, right? When you are that person for your family, right? When you are that trailblazer, when you are that one that, you are the, the generational, curse breaker, when you are the one who God has, called you to stand in the gap for some things. God has called you, into prayer for, for some things. God is using you. When you are that person and God is using you in that way, please understand that attacks are going to come. Okay? Please understand that attacks is going to come, and it does not matter. Listen, they do not discriminate. They're going to come from however the way the enemy going to get in. Because I am such a sucker for my family. And when I say my family, I mean my family like it's in my Florida family. I don't play about my mama. Like I don't play about my mama because you only get one mama, right? As I am, developing and growing and, changing in age and, I'm understanding her a little bit more because now that I have adult children and now that I am, almost like, an empty nester, I'm able to relate with her a little bit, a little bit differently. Hello. I can relate, to some of her, maybe her, what you call it, swings. We're going to just call it swings. I ain't going to even call it mood swings. So and she's getting older, right? She's getting older. And so as the oldest, right? As the oldest, I understand her because she's the oldest daughter. We respond differently to stuff, okay? This is a side note from what I'm going to share with y'all, but it's going to all work together. As the oldest, okay, we respond differently, okay? Our clap back is a little different than maybe the middle child or the baby. We clap back a little differently, okay? And so, as the oldest, some sparks took place, with her on today, and me just being who I am, I'm just gonna call heaven down, okay? Because what you're not gonna do, okay? What you're not gonna do, okay? You only get one mother, and listen, I ain't taking up. If you're wrong, you're wrong. Okay. I'm not there for the foolishness. Okay. I don't do the foolishness, but I understand, and I'm understanding her more as I am, growing into, a more mature woman myself. So I just want to throw that part out there. So that's why I hadn't showered yet. I want to give you an explanation on why I didn't jump in the shower first, because I had to take care of that, because I had already, had told God that I was going to come home, and do this. He hadn't gave me a fresh word to share. I had a session last night, that I want to share something with the ladies. And so I kind of got interrupted because of that, but now I'm here. I'm back. All right. So welcome, wives. All right. Jesus, be offense, Lord, be offense. You take over this live, God. May there be no backlash. May there be no interruptions. Cover it, God, with your son, Jesus' precious blood. Give me the words to speak to your wife, to your daughters on tonight. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. All right, amen, amen, and amen. Hello. So, let me go to my notes. Like I said, we're gonna try to do something different. I'm going to share some information with you about mental and emotional health, because God not playing this season about that, right? Your mental and emotional health is going to be derailed if you do not prioritize it. If you are in a marriage separation, you are going to experience mental and emotional distress. And I don't really understand. I'm probably not going to be nice tonight. I'm going to try real hard because I'm already in that. I'm already in that mood. So I'm already getting, I feel the heat coming up. If you already in a marriage separation and you see, I don't know if y'all watched the Wendy Williams thing. I just talked about her, a couple nights ago. If you have not watched it, go watch it. Okay. Go watch it. If you're not taking care of yourself in that way and you are in the middle of a marriage separation, I don't know what you're doing. Okay. But I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna put a pin in that. We're gonna come back to that. If you are living, and let me see, make sure I got my notes right here. Right. So if you are living in the home with your, I know, don't tell the people that. That Florida coming out of me. She said, you already engaged some more with Coach C. Listen, it be on me, because I be minding my own business. Okay. I don't be messing with nobody. I be in my own world. Okay. Let me read my notes. Let me go back to my notes. I'm gonna try to keep my gangster down. I'm gonna try to keep it down because I'm getting hot. But they had tried it earlier, so they had already got me worked up. And so this just kind of just add to it, If you are living in the home, okay, if you're living in the home with your unhealthy and non-submissive husband, you need to be checking in with a mental health provider or mental health coach. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. I am encountering and speaking to too many wives who are still in a very, very heavy distress place because of their marriage status. I was on the phone speaking with a client on, was it Monday or Tuesday? One of these days this week. Okay, I can't even keep up with the days at this point. And she was telling me so much about her, her health issues, and how she's not well because of what's taking place in her home. And I'm listening to her, and I'm trying to Try not to, just put the hammer down, because like she's a new client. So I don't want to just go in that hard. I let you get comfortable with me first. So you just understand that. And so I'm listening to her and I'm saying to myself, man, what is it that you want to do? Like, you have to give me something to work with, because I can easily give you what you need to. I can listen to what you're saying and I can give you what you need, but I don't know, me just giving that to you is going to be helpful for you, because I can give you this and you may not necessarily apply it or use it. So my question becomes, what is it that you want? What is it that you feel like you need? What is it that you want to do? Because you obviously need somebody to be with you on this journey, okay? There's no if and buts about that. You need somebody to be walking with you. And from what I'm hearing you say to me, you need to be checking in with somebody on a regular until you get to a better, healthier place. Because anytime your physical health is interrupted, everything else is just shut down. We ain't talking about no husband. We ain't talking about the other woman. We ain't talking about your marriage. It's like there is nothing else that we can really talk about when your health is already being interrupted. If your health is being interrupted, then why are we talking about your husband and this other stuff and he's not doing this and he's not doing that? None of that stuff matters at this point. Because if your health shut down, you close your eyes and you don't wake up, you don't wake up in the morning, your kids is there, they've died themselves, they don't have their mother no more, then what? So stop that. Stop that. Your physical health has to be attended to. So if your physical health has been interrupted, we're not talking about your husband. We're not talking about your nothing else. Your emotions at this point, you have to see about yourself. I'm gonna calm down. Okay, I'm gonna calm down. So if you are in a home with that type of husband, and you know that these things are, bringing you to this type of place, you gotta make a decision, and you gotta make a decision fast. You gotta make a decision, and you gotta make a decision fast. Okay. If you are not seeing a mental health provider or a mental health coach every 30 days, because you are in the home with this husband, you need to see this person every 30 days, if not more. I've had some clients where I've seen them, every other week. I see them twice in a month, because that's how heavy the stress was. You're not going to be able to handle that stuff just like, okay, I'm going to just go over here and read my Bible. Go read your Bible, because you're going to need your Bible. Go read your word, because you're going to need your word. Go and fast. Go to church. Go and turn your worship music. You're going to need that, but you're going to need somebody to talk to too. Okay? You're going to need somebody to talk to. Now, number 2. If your unhealthy or non-submissive spouse is outside of your home, but you are interacting with him on a regular basis, you need to be checking in also every 30 to 90 days to be held accountable. You should not allow 90 days to go past without checking in on you. Let me say it again. You should not allow 90 days. I don't care that he's not in the home. He don't have to be in the home. If you are in the middle of a marriage separation, and you know that God has told you to stand or stay in this type of marriage, in this covenant, you need to be checking in with somebody to check on yourself don't let 90 days go by without checking in. You need that. You need that. You can't say, oh, well, I'm just going to call you when I, if something come up. That ain't going to, call me for what? What we going to talk about? Because by this time, you are completely staggered. By this time, you done missed all the blind spots. By this time, you are in complete deception. By this time, you have went all the way backwards. What we going to talk about? If I haven't seen you, it's been 90 days and I haven't seen you, what you mean? What I'm going to say to you? Because at this point, you're starting over, right? You're literally starting over. So don't let 90 days go by without you getting that help if you are in the middle of a marriage separation, okay? Now, I'm going to read to you. I'm jumping around. I'm going to read to you this passage because that's why I say I want Throwback Thursday to look like. I want to give you some information, but I also want to share some data with you. And this is my YouTube pastor, my YouTube mentor. He ain't my pastor, y'all, but I call him my YouTube mentor. All right, Pastor Darius. And I'm going to share with you, let me go to my photos, what he shared, a passage that he shared, and why it is so important that you get the necessary help that you need. So Pastor Darius from Change Church, Okay, he's here in the Duluth area now. I found out from one of my clients last night that he's gonna be going to the cab. If y'all here in the Atlanta area, y'all looking for a church home. All right, go look him up. So he said, mentors provide speed. Mentors, coaches, they provide speed. Okay. They compress decades of learning into days, allowing you to progress further and faster. They offer education based on their experiences, saving you from the pitfalls of because I might mess this word up. Let me make sure I get it right. Experimentation. Go to his page and look it up. All right. This is invaluable as it propels you ahead without having a fail forward unnecessarily. Do you understand that having a mentor, a coach, a provider in your back pocket, that's a bonus for you in life, okay? That's a bonus for you in life. However, it's essential to understand that progress requires partnership. Excuse me. You cannot reach your best self alone. Let me repeat that. You cannot reach your best self alone. While some lessons are learned the hard way, many can be acquired through education, sparing you from unnecessary hardships. Mentors offer this education having paid the tuition of experience so that you don't have to. Period. Basically, what he's saying is having someone in your life who has already walked through something that you may be experiencing is a bonus to you. This helps you to avoid unnecessary hardship. It helps you to avoid unnecessary heartache, unnecessary pain, unnecessary heartache. I said it already. Unnecessary grief. It helps you to avoid unnecessary mistakes. A lot of times, and listen, I'm not here to be against, like I said, some people have, they have their pastor that they go to, they have counselors, they have therapists, they have, all those things. They have their family, friends, and, my only thing about that is connect with someone who can help you with what you got going on currently, right? Connect with someone. The young lady that I was seeing, she sees me and she has a counselor, and her counselor is not for her marriage. Her counselor is to work out some other areas she was experiencing, she was dealing with. So she has a counselor and she has a coach. You can have both. You can have a pastor and you can have a wife coach. Okay. You can have a therapist and you can have a wife coach. You can have both. You can have both. But I will highly recommend to the wife, especially the wife who feels like God has told her to stay or stand in an unhealthy marriage. If you know that God has petitioned you to stay in this type of marriage and you don't have the proper support, the proper resources, the proper tools, you're not going to do good on this journey, right? You're not going to do good on this journey. Okay. Now I've had both sides. I've had some clients who said, I went to counseling, I went to therapy. It wasn't good. It made my situation worse. And then I've had some people who say, I've done counseling, I've done therapy, I'm doing both, and they're helping me in other areas. Like, I'm not talking to them about, my marriage. I'm talking to them about this. This person, she had, some grief issues that she was dealing with from something from her past. So get you some help. Get you some help. But if you know that God has told you to do this type of journey, you want to connect with somebody who has probably done this type of journey to help you. Okay. You want to talk to somebody. Now y'all starting with these comments down here. Y'all know I can't do both. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try. Let me see. I got somebody say, real talk, it's time to consider self-preservation. Okay. I love Pastor Darius Daniels. I had a chance to visit his church last year. Yes, he's a great teacher. We get to learn from y'all's experience and even mistakes. Absolutely. Y'all know I'm transparent. Hey, Coach T. Hey, girl. Hey. I tell this to my adult children all the time. You don't have to always learn from your own mistakes and lessons. We can also learn from others. Absolutely. Absolutely. Get y'all some help. Okay. Get you some help. Get connected. Let me go back to my other note because I'm not good with all this back and forth stuff. I've been got lost and confused. Pastor Darius, go to his page on IG. Go and find that article. Read it for yourself. Understand the importance of having somebody in your life who can journey with you, who can hold you accountable, who understand what you're going through, who know the answer to your questions, who can look at your situation and say, girl, you doing this, and this wrong, and you doing that, and that. Let me help you and avoid this, and let me give you a strategy for this. Coaches, I speaking for myself, I'm a strategy coach. So I'm going to give you strategy. I'm a coach that, want whites to have understanding and vision. So I'm going to always give you some notes. I'm going to always give you something to write down. I'm going to always give you something to take with you to think about. I'm going to always give you something to work on. You're not going to leave from me and say, oh, okay, well, we had a great session and that's it. No, you're going to have homework. You're going to be working on something. By the time we see each other again, you should be working on those things that we talked about in that session, because that's how you do life. That's how you get better. That's how you develop. That's how you learn. That's how you grow. Like, this thing don't work without, okay? It ain't gonna work, okay? Now, I want to also use this opportunity to reintroduce myself, because I had some new followers. A lot of people have been, reaching out because of the Retreat Her. If you don't have your tickets, tonight is the last night for you to get your ticket for $100 for the Retreat Her. You can get your ticket tonight for $100. Tomorrow it changes again. Okay, my team they working on that, but you can get your tickets tonight if you want to come to Retreat Her. So I wanted to reintroduce myself again to some of my new followers as we cross over into a new month. My name is Coach T. Okay, y'all probably never met nobody like Coach T before. I'm a little different. I stand on that. I stand on that. I'm probably somebody that you never, ever met before. Y'all probably say, she is weird. She's strange. She's different. I am all those things. I take full ownership of all those things, okay? I wear my weirdness and my strangeness and my countrified self well, because I can only be who I am. So I'm Coach T, okay? And as a mental health wellness wife coach, my goal as a wife is to help wives transform during their marriage separation journey. I do not promise wives that I can help you get your husband back. I do not promise wives that I can save your marriage, because I cannot do that. I am not the marriage restorer, but I work for him. Okay. I work for him. I work for the marriage restorer, and he has proven himself faithful in my life, in my marriage, and with a lot of the wife clients I work with and coach. But my promise, I don't promise wives that, oh, I'm going to help you get your husband back, or, your husband and you are going to be, reconciled. Because a lot of times these wives are looking for somebody to give them a 1, 2, 3 step for their husbands to come back in the home. But they don't even understand, like, you might want to enjoy this time that you got to yourself. You might want to enjoy this time that you are separated from your husband. You might want to enjoy this time and learn who you are and become, who you are, become your better, healthier self. You might want to enjoy these things, because listen, baby, when he comes home, that work changes. You're going to be doing just as much work when he come back home than you was doing when he was not home. So I don't promise wives that I'm going to help you get your husband back. Okay. I don't promise wives that I'm going to help you restore your marriage. I promise to help transform that wife and help her to walk through her marital journey in the most healthiest way. All right. So how does this transformation take place? By the wife doing her own personal inner work that includes prioritizing her mental health, her emotional health, her spiritual health, physical health, and sometimes even her financial health. Y'all know I'm big on talking about wives being their own bosses, getting your own coins, not depending on nobody else. Oh, my husband was the one who was bringing in the money. Oh, my husband was the one who, was helping me with the bills. You need to learn how to stand on your own 10 toes down. Okay. I'm just big on that. I'm that one that's going to push you to be independent. That's going to push you to be a leader. That's going to push you to, be that person, because you need that. All right. You do not need to be, you do not need to be dependent only on your husband. Now you in a jam, you in a tight place, you in a tight spot. And I don't know how to, we're not going to be friends. We're not going to be friends, because if I can't teach you how to get some coins, and I can't teach you how to make some money, and I can't teach you how to be a leader, we're not going to be friends, because I'm always pushing for wives to be better in that sense. So I help wives in that sense, all right? I help wives with the total package of being a healthier helper by leading a healthier lifestyle as a Christian wife, all right? Now, is this type of wife perfect that I coach? Absolutely not. She's not. The person she represents is, though. Okay. She's a representative of Christ. And because he is perfect, she models his life, his lifestyle, his character, and represents him. That's it. Okay. That's it. Are you his wife? Are you his wife? If you are his wife, You may have been given a certain assignment, a very unorthodox assignment that goes completely against the culture's way, traditional way, your family way, but it impacts the kingdom, okay? It impacts and represents the kingdom. This may be you. You may have been given this type of assignment. If so, I coach that wife, okay? So welcome, welcome, and welcome. Now, I want to start off by saying this. Like I said, they already done pushed me, okay? They already done pushed me. So please forgive me in advance if my voice go up a little bit. It might go up a little notch because y'all know I'm real passionate about certain topics, okay? And this is one of them, okay? This is one of them. That's why I said they had already done. This wasn't a good night for them to bring that other stuff over here because God had already had me to do something. So, like I said, I had a session on yesterday evening, and there was a topic that came up that I want to speak about for a moment. But first, I'm going to say this, and y'all know how I feel about outsiders, negative, outside influencers, family members, wicked and evil family members coming in between somebody else's marriage covenant. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. It drives me into tears because I have experienced it hands on. I have experienced the hardship and the aches of it because I don't like it. Stay your behind out of people's marriages. Okay? Stay out of people's marriages. How do you come in between what God has joined together? I'm hearing it too much. And so I think because I hear it so much, every time I hear it, it's like, it does something to me. Keep your mouth off of people's marriage covenants, especially if you do not know that person has been chosen, picked, handpicked by God for a specific reason and is doing something and have had conversations with him and have been praying with him and have been talking to him about the marriage. Keep your butt off people's marriages, okay? Keep your mouth off of people's marriages. Your involvement or opinions in an unhealthy marriage puts you in a very, very critical place, okay? It puts you in a very, very critical place. One, you're not getting only on one side. You're only getting one side of the story. That's one. Let's start off there. You're only getting one side of the story when someone comes to you and share with you about their marriage. This is why, as a mental health provider, as a wife coach who listen to wives about their husbands and listen to wives about their marriages, I don't be so quick to just jump on the wife's side. No. I'm not that type of coach because you have to be very, very sensitive when topics of marriages come up, and I have to be very, 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 very easy about what I say and what I put out there, right? Because putting your mouth on somebody else's covenant, that's a sensitive place, and you playing with fire if you're doing that, right? You're playing with fire if you're doing it, and you don't know what you're doing. So the first reason why you don't want to do that is because you're only getting one side of the story. This is why I know wives wonder, like, Coach T, why your conversations why my conversations are so expensive? Because it is very, very, very in detail. I get a lot of information from that wife. As much as information I can get, I get information about her husband. I get information about their background, about her husband's background. We go in. It's very, very intensive because this is a very, very critical topic. And you have to be really, really careful about what you are saying to somebody when it comes down to their marriage. This is a hot seat. This is a hot place to be in. Like, we not just sit over here like, oh, okay, I want to talk to you about your marriage. No, okay? We got to be real careful. And especially the ones that God has chosen to do this type of work. Because what God is looking at, how you gonna respond? I could have been and then had an argument with my own husband, and then I get a client who is something similar to what me and my husband was arguing about. I'm like, God, what you trying to do? He's like, I'm gonna always test your heart because you the one out here teaching my people. You the one out here talking to my daughters about this. So I'm gonna always test your heart. I could me and my husband been and had a heated disagreement or what have you, because listen, We are married folks too over here. And so because that happens, now I'm talking to one of God's daughters about their marriage. God is looking to see how I'm going to respond. What you going to say to her? How you going to handle that situation? How you going to handle that situation? So I am that coach. I'm really, really careful about what I'm saying, what I'm putting out, what I'm giving wives when it comes to their marriage, right? And that's why I stay in my own lane. I don't try to waver from side to side. I stay in my lane. Stop putting your mouth on people's marriages, okay? Because you only get on one side of the story. That's number one. Number two, you're not only coming up against that spouse, okay? That wife, excuse me, but you also are coming up against God. And so many people, they're not thinking about that kind of stuff when they give this information out. They're not thinking about no God. They're not thinking about, us from the spiritual side of this. They're not thinking like that. But you have to understand, when you are putting your mouth and coming in between a marriage, you are not only coming up against that wife and that husband, you're coming up against God. So that's the second reason why you want to be real, real careful about putting your mouth on somebody's marriages and giving counsel to somebody about somebody's marriage. Because you think, oh, I give good advice. You better be careful with your advice that you give people when it comes to their marriage, okay? Stay in your own lane, okay? Stay in your own lane. Some people feel like if they didn't get married, this is another thing. This is, again, I'm getting all this information from some of the sessions I've been having recently. Some people feel like that if they didn't get married in a church or a church setting, that they don't have a real or ordained marriage. Lies. Stop this foolery, okay? As a marriage officiant myself, who marry couples. I marry couples. And I don't always marry couples in churches. I don't always marry couples in church settings. I'm here to tell you that does not matter. That does not matter. Don't let people be out here bullying you and make you feel some type of way about, oh, well, you didn't get married in a church. So because you didn't get married in a church, your marriage is not really ordained or it's not really a marriage. Really? Really? Once a marital vow has been made, it has been taken, and that officiate, that pastor, or whoever pronounced you as husband and wife, you are married. Once a covenant has come forth, you are married. If you are Christians and you brought Christ into your marriage, your covenant contains you, your husband, and God. Don't let people make you think or feel like, oh, well, you didn't get married inside a church. You don't have a real marriage. You have a covenant. The vows were exchanged, okay? Stop letting people make you feel like you don't have a real marriage in the sight of God because you didn't get married in a church. Like I said, I've married people in their living rooms as an officiant. I've married people in their kitchen. I've married people in the parks. I've married people in the middle of traffic. I've married people on the phone. And they were Christians and they invited God into their marriages. Okay? So it does not matter where you are necessarily getting married at. I have married people from several places and that it's not always been in a church home. Okay. I myself, Coach T, I got married in a courtroom, right? I got married in a courtroom. Now, I wouldn't recommend a courtroom wedding. I do not recommend a courtroom wedding because you do not know the person who is pronouncing over your marriage. You don't know that person's relationship with Christ. You don't know that person's, how they feel about marriage. You don't know that. This is a random person in the courthouse marrying you. All they just doing is going through the simple vows and they're going through the simple things and this 1, 2, 3, sign here, y'all married. That's it. All right. So I will caution you not to get married in a courthouse if all be possible. But it doesn't matter if you do get if you do get married that way. It doesn't take away from the covenant that has been made. Does God recognize court marriages? The short and simple answer is yes. 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 A civil marriage ceremony is valid in God's eyes. You can always reaffirm your vows in a specific Christian wedding ceremony if it's something you want to do. But just because you get married outside of a church setting does not mean you do not have a marriage. People out here talking to your husband, talking to, your spouse, telling them, you might not even have a real marriage because y'all didn't get married in a courthouse. Y'all didn't get married in a wedding. In a church. Y'all got married in a courthouse. So y'all really, really don't have a marriage. Don't let the enemy trick you with that foolery thinking that you don't have a real marriage because you didn't get married inside a church. If a vow was taken, if vows was exchanged, if someone pronounced you as husband and wife, you are married in the sight of God. You are Christians. You brought Christ into your marriage, or you made a decision later to say you maybe wasn't a Christian at that time, but you made a decision to bring Christ into your marriage. Once you invite him in, he's there. He's in. He's part of it. Don't let people make you feel or think that you don't have a real marriage because you didn't get married inside a church setting. Some people don't have weddings all the time in church settings because they want to have drinks there. They want to do other things there. Sometimes the people don't get married, in churches because they want to do, other things, that maybe the church will not necessarily approve of. Okay. Sometimes people don't want to get married in church because they want something small. They want something simple. They want something more ceremonial, symbolic. Like I had a couple who they wanted to get married, they want to renew their vows in their living room, and it was a symbolic moment for them. So don't do that. Stop letting these outsiders put stuff in your head. Stop letting these outsiders put it in whatever they put in your husband's head and he bringing it home to you. Rebuke that stuff and send it back to its sender. Okay, let it know it is lies. Satan, I denounce you. Rebuke that stuff. You are his wife. All right. Period. Wow, that's craziness that people are making these stupid. Right. That's girl. The stuff I be hearing sometimes. All right. That's why when people marry illegally. Now, I do want to mention this. When people marry illegally, and I'm speaking about people like, citizenship laws. Okay. Like I do deal, and coach with, I do coach and, coming and encounter a lot of wives who are, even if they are Americans, maybe they are married to, a person that's out, from a different country, or I do come and encounter with some, ladies who are, from other countries that are married to husbands. And I had a wife. Jesus. I had a wife who did something like this where they married for a specific reason. They married for money purposes, right? She said I do to this person, but it was not supposed to be like, I guess, a real thing. But don't you understand, like when you pronounce those vows over you, and you are coming in covenant with that person. It doesn't matter if it's for money purpose or for money reasons or whatever it is. You are actually coming in contact and coming together with that person. All right. So even if you are marrying for citizenship reasons, you have to realize that even a person who is getting paid to do this, you are still coming together with that person and you are becoming one. It doesn't matter that you're doing it for money purposes. It doesn't matter that, oh, okay, well, we just doing this, I'm just here to help him out. Stop this. Don't agree to no foolishness like that, right? So to sum this up, your marriage, legally, illegally, in a church or not, when you take a vow to marry, you are married. You are one. Legally, illegally, in the church, not in the church, when you take that vow, you marry. You are married. Outsiders should mind their business and stay out of people's marriages, regardless of the case. Okay? The third reason is that when outsiders and people from the outside do that, it puts you in a critical place is because you do not know the prayers, the instructions, the communication that spouse may be having with God about her husband. When you inject your 2 senses into that person's marriage and try to come in between what God has joined together, you mess around and wake up with a missing pinky toe. Okay? If that wife is praying and that wife is talking to God about her husband, and her husband's outside getting counsel from wicked family members or from family members that, want to benefit from them, or from people that's, speaking to them and saying all these different things to them and trying to, convince them to leave their marriage, or, you need to do these, or you need to, you probably want to, go. All that foolery y'all giving these people out here, and you giving these people all this is another reason why I'm saying you got to be careful about talking to family, because family sometimes their thing is they don't want to see you in a hurtful place. They don't want to see you in a negative place, but sometimes they can put their mouth on something and you can't do that. All right? You can't do that either. Hello? You mess around and put your mouth on somebody's marriage and you wake up and you missing a pinky. Okay? Don't do that, because you don't know the conversations that God is having with that wife. You don't know the conversation that wife is having with God. You don't know what God has told that wife. You don't know the prayers that wife is praying. And you out here getting this outside counsel from these family members, from these, these counselors, from these priests, these evil people. And you don't know that God has his hands on that wife and she's on assignment. Come on, Jesus. She's on an assignment. And now you don't put your mouth on this marriage. You better be careful. Okay? You better be careful. Exodus 23:22 says, if you listen carefully to what he says and do all that I say, I will be an enemy to your enemies and will oppose those who oppose you. You people outside of that marriage covenant gonna mess around and God gonna deal with you by fire. God gonna deal with you by fire, by vapor, by smoke, by thunder. Stay away from people marriage covenants. Take your mouth off people marriages. You don't know the assignment that God may have that wife on. And you gonna mess around. You gonna mess around and it ain't gonna be good for you or your family. So stop that. Okay? The best that I had this one person, I'll never forget. I would call, he'd be like, oh, I don't want nothing to do with that. He was like, I don't want nothing to do with that. That man was like, I ain't getting in that. I'm not, he was a friend of my husband's. And he was like, no. It's like he knew, like, I ain't getting in that. I don't want no part of it. Don't tell me nothing. I don't want to know nothing. No, how you doing? You all right? Okay, you all right? That's all that matters. I don't want nothing to do with that. Be careful about putting your mouth on people's marriage because God just may be, God may have that person on assignment and that person is on assignment. You better be careful. You wake up with a missing pinky toe. You wonder what happened to your toe. Stop talking about people's marriages. Keep your mouth off of people's marriages. All right. God fights for praying wives, praying for their husbands, and he fights for them. So stay out of people's marriages. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Stay out of people's marriages now. Okay, because I'm done with that. Hey, Miss Lady, what's going on? Now, let's talk about the nature of a wife, because this was another topic that had came up that I want to kind of address a little bit, because a lot of times, especially people who are, going through a divorce or may have already divorced, this can sometimes be a very sensitive situation. I have been running into lately, when people have a disturbance or an interruption may take place in a marriage, or that marriage has been threatened by their husband. Maybe that husband may have served them, divorce. Maybe that... I'm like, okay. They better go back and watch that movie. Okay. They have had some type of interruption or, a disturbance in a marriage, or their marriage has been threatened by, by their husband, giving them a divorce or threatening them to leave. Many wives feel like they're not worthy to be, to be a wife. I'm not worthy. My husband, my husband don't want to leave. My husband don't want to beat me no more. My husband want to leave. My husband, baby, I'm gonna write a book. I ain't gonna, not the book I already wrote. I'm gonna write another book and tell y'all some stuff when the Lord give me permission to tell you. So they may feel limited. They may feel like they're not worthy, on this journey. And so they feel like they're not wise. All right. They feel like they're not wise. And one of the things I wanted to just highlight is, because their husbands, okay. Many wives feel like they are not wise anymore. They feel like they are not worthy as a wife because their husbands are in silly seasons on their journey. And so sometimes these wives feel like, well, I'm not a wife. I'm not a wife. Listen to me, wife. Your husband, okay? And this is why I'm constantly coming on here telling y'all that this is not about your marriage. It's not about your husband. Your husband doesn't make you a wife. Your husband doesn't determine you being a wife. When he met you, he saw a good thing. He saw a wife because you was already a wife. But he saw that before he even met you. Before he even made you his wife, right? Your husband don't determine if you are a wife. So you got to stop that. Your husband doesn't determine that. You are the bride of Christ. Come on, Jesus. You are the bride of Christ. You are a representative of Jesus and his church. Being a wife is part of your nature. Your husband has nothing to do with whether or not if you are a wife. You are a wife. It's your nature. You are a representative of the bride. You are a bride. You are the bride of Christ. You are the church. You are a representative of Jesus Christ. You are a wife. When your husband met you, you was already a wife. You didn't become a wife because, oh, I married him, now I'm a wife. You was a wife before you married your husband. Don't let your husband or anyone else bully you from being who God has called you to be. You are his wife. You are a wife. Many times, and I can use myself for example, I used to wonder why I would feel a certain way or respond a certain way to my husband when I had, every reason to be opposite of him. Like I tell y'all all the time, like I thought something was wrong with me. Like something surely got to be wrong with me. Because there ain't no doggone way I should be responding like this and he acting like that, right? I would consider him when he wouldn't consider me, right? I would do things that I know he wouldn't do for me. And I would pray prayers and God's protection over him, even when he treated me like I was the enemy. And I used to question it. I'd be like, listen, I think something's wrong with my brain. I think something's wrong with me because there's no way. I don't think I'm supposed to be acting like this. I don't think I'm supposed to be nice. I think I'm supposed to be wanting, I should be wanting to be revengeful. I should be wanting, want to get my payback. I should be wanting, come for him. Why I'm not responding that way? Why I don't want to, clap back at him like how he clapping at me? Because I can't clap back. Okay, but it was something in me was like, no, that's not what you're supposed to do. All right, wife, you are his wife. Being a wife is part of your nature, whether with your husband or not, divorced or not. You are a wife. It's part of who you are. Somebody put it here. It's part of my DNA. Come on, Jesus. You are a wife. It's in your nature. Wives model Christ. Wives are selfless. Wives operate in 1 Corinthians 13:4-8, the love chapter. Wives are patient. Wives endure. Wives are not weak, though. We will walk in meekness, but we're not weak. Okay? We're not weak. Wives heal. Wives apply wisdom. Wives get healthy for themselves. Wives are attractive. Wives are teachable. Wives are coachable. Wives are students. Wives are disciples. Wives represent the kingdom of God. You are a wife. It's part of your nature. It's who you are. Regardless of your marital circumstances, you are a wife. Heal, grow, get wisdom, get knowledge, get understanding, walk in your gifts. Help, love, teach, share, be a walking epistle for someone else to learn from. That's what a wife does. That's who you are. So this is why I'm always telling wives that your husband will benefit from you standing on this journey. Right? Your husband will benefit from you, you making a decision to stay in this marriage that God has asked you to stay in. But this ain't about your husband. This ain't about your husband. This is about you. God is developing you to be the bride of Christ. You are a wife. This is what the bride of Christ does. Right? This is what she does. And listen. For more information, you can go and get my His Wife book. Come on, Jesus. Yes, I'm going to promote my book on here. Come on now. Hello. For more information about being his wife, you can purchase my book on Amazon. Go to His Wife and get your book. You are a wife. Don't let your marital circumstances, don't let the interruption of your marriage, don't let the served papers of your marriage, don't let none of those things come in between you being what God has called you to be. God said you are his wife. You the bride. You the bride of Christ. You represent him. You represent him. And so one of the things that the young lady, she was saying, she was like, I have come to a place of acceptance, like whatever happens. She said, but I still find myself sometimes still doing stuff for him. And I still find myself, still praying certain prayers for him. And it's like, yeah, that's normal. That's what his wife does. You are a wife. It's part of who you are. You just because he's acting ugly, mean, and nasty, don't mean you have to be that way. And this is why we're constantly telling you, I know I am, to prioritize yourself. Prioritize your mental, your emotional, your spiritual. Prioritize, yourself in a healthy way so that you can be his wife. Come on, Jesus. Because you won't be able to be this. You won't be able to, if you acting just like him, you're not his wife. You might not be his wife. And so that's one of the reasons why I give wives assessments and I ask the questions. If you go in my book, listen, let me promote my book for a minute. If you go in my book on one of these pages here, it has right here, biggest day, boom. Are you his wife? Being his wife is part of your nature. Being his wife is like the young lady say here, it's in your DNA. You are a representative of Christ. You represent the church. You are a wife. So it doesn't matter what your marital situation is. It doesn't matter. Your husband don't qualify you as being a wife. You are a wife. Okay? So don't let nobody talk you out of that. Change your mind about that. Listen. The foolery I done heard this week, I'm sick of it now. Okay? I'm sick of it. Let me read y'all comments and I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and go, okay? Keep going, make a few more. Come on, Jesus. Listen, the book is coming. Come on and help me. It is not about them at all. God just used us as a tool to win them to the Lord. That's it. A wife is a discipler. That's why I said you got to get healthy for yourself. You ain't gonna be able to disciple nobody if you yourself is not in a healthy place. You're not gonna be able to do it. Coach T on fire. Come on, Jesus. Right, it works. Yes, I still pray for mine when I know he is going through stuff and I don't even want to work it out anymore. That part. Wives operate in integrity. Okay, wives. We on a whole new level. Okay, we walking on a whole different ground. All right, so all that little girl pettiness stuff and all that little foolery. My man. Oh, he over here with the other women. Girl, nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. You got a whole a line of a generation line that's dependent on you to make a shift. Come on, Jesus. You got a whole leap of people on the sideline waiting for you to get it right. Come on, Jesus. You got people that God needs you to witness to, that God needs you to touch, that God needs you to talk to, he said, listen, I want to put my fire in you and use you to explode some things, to tear down some things, to draw, to pull down some things. I need you to get yourself together. You his wife. It's in your nature. It's who you are. So don't mind the foolery. The people that come, oh, well, you're not really married because you didn't get married at the church. Foolery. Send that foolery back to its sender. Satan, I denounce you. What's next? You don't have time for that. You don't have time to entertain that kind of foolery. You don't have time to entertain outside people. It sickens me when I hear about people trying to come between somebody's marriage, especially if they don't got nothing going on themselves. How you gonna take somebody else's husband to make, whether it's a sister, it's a mother, it's a cousin. How you gonna take somebody else's husband and make him work out for you? Who does that? That's somebody else's husband. I ain't going back there. Y'all already know. Y'all see the tiredness is kicking in. So I just want to come in and share that with y'all. My family still don't understand. Listen, most of them don't. And I don't care. You can't. I even celebrate with him when things go good for him. Absolutely. You ain't there to be his. You got to be his peace. You got to be his peace. That's why I'm always telling wives, when your husband come over, treat him like a guest, honey. Treat him, bring him. My husband used to come out here. I used to treat him like he's at a 5-star hotel. Okay, I already knew he was coming. He didn't want to be bothered. He would come and sit down on the stairs, and baby, that house to be clean. It be smelling good. Food be cooking. He want to come back. Treat him like a guest. That's it. I spoke highly of my husband at the launch of the ministry, and someone called my mom, said she really loves her husband, huh? Listen, they're not gonna understand it. They won't understand it. They will not understand it. And listen, congratulations, Miss Lady, you doing your thing out here. Congratulations. That's it. That's all I got for y'all tonight. Go tell people to mind their business and stay out your marital covenant, okay? And you stop making people make you feel like you're not a wife because of whatever you got going on with your marriage. You are a wife. It's in your nature. It's part of your DNA. It's who you are, okay? Go and get this book, Hiswife, for more information on how to be his wife. You can go to Amazon and purchase either the paperback or the hard copy. It's available with you now. And then bring it with you on to the retreat so I can sign up for you. Go ahead and get your tickets tonight because it's only $100. Okay, bring it with you to the retreat, to the meet and greet, and I'm gonna sign up for you so I can meet you in person. I can hug you, I can kiss on you, and say, listen, thank you for supporting this countrified girl from the FLA. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate you. Listen, I know I was already on here earlier. Thank you, Coach T. I appreciate the laughs and the learning. Listen, I am here to help y'all. Listen, happy Self-Care Thursday. Happy Self-Care Thursday. Enjoy the rest of y'all week. I might get back on here sometime later on the weekend, but I'm going to go and enjoy my self-care time. Y'all, if you're ready to do your work, I want to encourage you to sign up for your consultation. You can do so today. www.marriagechroniclesbytanika.com. Or you saying, I can't afford a consultation with you right now, Coach T, but I do want some information. Listen, I have a clarity 30-day strategy that you can get about your marriage. You can sign up for that, and I can send that on over. You can get that and get you started. That's probably like the cheapest thing that you can probably get at this point with Coach T. Sign up today if you are one of my clients that I've seen and I ain't seen y'all in over 90 days. I'm gonna need you to get on my March schedule, okay? It's been over 90 days. If I haven't seen you, it's been more than 90 days. And you already have seen Coach T, and you already, have been part of my sessions already. Quit playing, okay? Get back on here. Sign up. I had one young lady had reached out earlier this week. She said, Coach T, I'm ready to do my check-in. Come check in, okay? Prioritize your mental, emotional, spiritual, physical health. And sometimes, a lot of times, your financial health too, all right? Get on board today. Listen, happy Self-Care Thursday. I love y'all. I'll talk to you soon. Blessings.